Okay, we're recording.
We are? All right. Well,
Yep.
great. It is March 31st, 2020, and the purpose of this tutorial is to help teachers and students learn how to produce American degrees and other award applications, Proficiency Awards, with the new electronic signature system. And Mr. LeJeune and myself are here to help with that. Mr. LeJeune is going to walk me through the process as if I was a teacher or a student. So, Kate, I've got my screen up. I'm on the Louisiana FFA website. You want to tell me what to do next?
All right. Thank you, Dr. Smith. So there's really 2 steps that you're going to have to follow this year to successfully submit and complete an award application. So the first thing you need to do is register them for grading here on the state level. To do that, you're going to go to our website, laffa.org, and you're going to click on the Association tab. You're going to scroll down and click on Awards and Degrees. And then there on the right side where it says Award Application Registration, register here, you're going to click on that link. When it opens up to the form site account, you'll see that we've updated all of the deadlines because of what's going on. So if you scroll up, Dr. Smith, before we start entering info, you scroll up to the top, you'll see that we have all the updated deadlines. So everything other than Ag Science Fair has to be registered on this link by Tuesday, May 5th. And then by the next day, on May 6th, everyone is going to email a PDF copy of their completed applications to my Ag Center email address. There's not going to be any physical grading this year because of the requirements of not being able to meet right now. So we're going to do everything virtually. Very important to know, there are no physical signatures needed on any application. Because 1, we're not grading physical copies, but 2, because everything from National FFA is going to digital signatures, there is no place to physically sign anything anymore. So again, you're going to register your applications on this link by May 5th. By the next day, the end of the day, you need to email me the copies of your applications to my email address. I'm going to create a folder for each chapter that'll hold all of those applications, and then we're going to disperse them to the teachers who are going to grade. The exception to that, there's 2 exceptions. American degrees do not have to be submitted to the state level for review. If you would like for us to review for you, we can do that. If you want to share it with other teachers, if you want to share it with me, I'd be happy to look at it for you. But it does not require a state review in order to be submitted to National FFA. They have to be completed and electronically signed and submitted to Nationals by May 15th. That's earlier than their deadline, but that allows National FFA to look them over. And if there are any corrections that need to be made, they will send it back to us. We'll send it back to you so that your students don't get disqualified. So that's a nice service that National FFA provides to us because we do submit them early. So American degrees have to be completed, electronically signed, and submitted by the 15th. Ag Science Fair applications also will be finished by May 15th. That will be the same procedure that we followed last year. If you didn't do an Ag Science Fair application last year, the entire application, the report, all of the actual printed things that the student's going to do has to be emailed to Dr. Starr by May 15th in time for competition at state convention. You'll take your board and your display to convention, but the documentation needs to be emailed to her by May 15th. So other than American degrees and Ag Science Fair, everything else has to be registered at this link by May 5th and emailed to me. So when you're looking through this link, it's pretty self-explanatory. It'll be your email address. Whenever you put the teacher's email address, it will send you a reminder that it's been submitted. You're going to have to do a separate one of these for each application that you do. So if you're doing 15 state degree applications, you're going to have to do this form 15 times because it registers each individual student. The reason we do that is because it's the only way to help us keep sorted out how many applications we should have. There is no way for us to collect all of them at once. So it's going to collect all of your data from you. You're going to select your category and you'll click next. Now for some of these, like for example, with state degrees, there's only one option. But for some of them, if you click on, say, Senior Proficiency Award, when you click next, it's going to bring you to another screen. See, like this one on the State Star Award, you're going to select which one you're applying for. So as long as you're following the prompts, you should pretty easily be able to submit your award application onto the state. So make sure you do that.
You completely close this and do it again for your next student.
Correct. Just start over from the beginning.
Good deal.
So again, that'll be due by May 5th. We backed up that deadline. Today was supposed to be our award review day. We were supposed to be in Mandeville today, taking care of all of it, but clearly, since our schedule's backed up, we postponed all those applications until May to try to give you some more time with your students. So once you get them registered, the critical thing now is how do you actually complete the application? So to do that, you're going to have to go to the national website, to ffa.org. You're going to go to the dashboard. You're going to log in so Dr. Smith, for this purpose, go back to the dashboard and log on as a teacher advisor. There you go. So you'll see this. You're going to scroll down and you're going to click on Application Center. You'll scroll down in whichever application you're looking for. So let's say you're going to be looking for Proficiency Awards. You'll click on that one. And it's going to prompt you to log in. This is the same username and password that you use for your FFA roster. And so it's going to take you to the AET screen. Now you're going to click on whichever category you're looking for. Very important to know, the only application that a teacher can generate is the National Chapter Award. Degrees, Star Awards, Ag Science Fair, proficiencies, all of those have to be generated by the student. Until the student generates it, you won't be able to see it and you won't be able to create one. Once they create the application, you'll be able to log on and look at their application there on the AET page. Even if you don't have AET, it's still going to direct you to AET because they manage all the applications for National FFA. So Dr. Smith, let's just click on American Degree Application. Let's see if we can pull one up. So if we look, these are the ones that are currently in progress. Dr. Smith, if you just click on one, we're going to show as an example for the American. Let's do Sam. Well, actually, go back and try to find one that's got more done because there's other links we want to see. So click on Katie Medier's. I think I've looked at hers already. Scroll up, click on app.
Oh, my computer it makes me save stuff to my desktop. All right.
Close that part. Close that one. Let's go back to the actual AET link. See where it says app on top of the numbers? There you go. So this is what you're going to be looking for. When you do an American Degree application, all of the tabs on the left side you're going to have to fill out just like you do any regular award application. If you scroll down, though, to the bottom, there's all of her information. If you look on the left side where it says checklist and electronic signatures, click on the checklist first. You need to make sure that everything says met or that it's pending review. The only thing on these that are not going to say met are going to be the electronic signatures. For the American Degree application, you have to complete those signatures. Dr. Smith, if you look over to the left where it says electronic signatures and click on that, if you scroll down, the student can sign, you can sign, a parent and a school administrator will also have to sign. In order to do that, if you scroll down, you're going to put in an email address for the parent and for the principal or superintendent, and you're going to send them a request. And if you see there on that one for the principal of Zachary High School, you send the request. It's going to email that person a link to sign the application. If they say they're not getting it, tell them to check their spam or their junk folder. Sometimes it goes there. If it absolutely is not going through, contact me and we will work with National FFA to get it signed. Whenever it's finished and signed, you'll see the green wording like above Katie's parent's name where it says sign February 26. You will get that whenever it's done. So make sure you see that. If not, it's not complete. Once you get the signatures for the American Degree, if you scroll back up, Dr. Smith, and look to the left again, you see underneath where it says complete print your app. If you click on that, we had a few American Degrees last year that were not completed from our state, and this is why. Because once you finish those signatures, a button, see where it says in red, checklist not met? When those signatures are done, it's going to come up and say something like submit. And if you don't click on that button, it's not going to be submitted to the state level. And so when I pull them up to forward to nationals, I won't see them. So make sure for your American degrees that once all the electronic signatures are done and the checklist says met, the student has to click on this link and submit it to state, or else their application won't be submitted. I'm going to make sure this year, whenever I generate the list from our state, I'm going to email that out across the listserv so that you have an opportunity to make sure that your student's name is on there if you were anticipating them turning in an American degree this year, so we don't miss any. But very critical that you do that. Now, for Proficiency Awards, you can just stay here, Dr. Smith. For Proficiency Awards, for state grading, so for the ones that you're going to email to me on May 6th, there is no requirement for a signature because there's no place for you to physically sign an application anymore. It's electronic. The only way that you will need to sign your Proficiency Award electronically is if you are the state winner, because our state winners will be submitted onto the national level. Those will require an electronic signature. Nothing else that we grade at state. So Proficiency Awards, state degrees, livestock exhibition, nothing that we grade at state requires a signature anymore, since everything has gone electronic and we're not necessarily grading electronic on the state level. So if you're panicking about how do I get signatures for the state level, it's not required. That's one less thing you have to worry about this year. So if we go back, Dr. Smith, let's go find now a Proficiency Award. There are a couple of things that I've had some questions asked about I wanted to remind you of. If you go back again, just keep going back.
Can I just use the back button?
Yeah, just go back. Keep going back. There we go. Click on Proficiency Applications. You can just find a random one. Click on yeah, any one of those is fine. So a couple of things on the Proficiency Awards. If you look on the left, past the membership check, the proficiency area, make sure that your proficiency area is what you want to be applying in. And if you have questions about which proficiency area you should be in, if you go to the National FFA website and click on the Proficiency Award link and go down to resources, or you can click here, it gives you a very detailed description of which application area you should be in. Make sure that you're in the correct award area. We will catch those on the state level. Once it gets to review, there's no more opportunity to correct it. It has to be corrected before then. So make sure you're in the correct area. We're not going to fix it for you after the fact. And if we, for whatever reason, if we were to submit one from the state level that's in the wrong area, it's not going to be graded at nationals. We'll have lost that opportunity. So please make sure you're in the correct area. Just as a point of reference, if you are confused about which area you should be in, sometimes I can answer those questions, but if I can't answer it, we're going to forward them to Brett Evans at National FFA. His email address is a very handy one to keep on hand with you if you do Proficiency Awards regularly. His email address is bevans, B-E-V-A-N-S, @ffa.org. He's a really good resource for all things proficiencies if you have questions about that. Whenever you're doing these Proficiency Awards, remember that performance review A, B, and C have to be completed, and it's highly, highly, highly recommended that you use all of the space that's allowed. So if it says 1,500 characters, you need to really be trying to do 1,500 characters on these performance reviews if you want to have any shot of being competitive at the state level and beyond. So we're not going to go through the whole application again. You have to fill out every tab as you go down. There's one main change this year for Proficiency Awards that you need to be made aware of. Dr. Smith, if you click on that supplemental info tab right below photos, this is what we've historically called the personal page. You remember the personal page was always one page that you could add on to your Proficiency Award. It was to highlight something that maybe didn't fit in the application, to give more information about the student. Now, National FFA is requiring that anything submitted to the national level has to be in a PDF, and it has to be less than 5 megabytes in size. It's just one attachment that's uploaded. Well, clearly that's not going to work on the state level because I can't pull PDFs that are attached on this application for state review. So for Proficiency Awards, we will still be taking your traditional one-page personal page attached to your application. If you don't know how to attach it to the PDF to send to me with the Proficiency Award, just send it as a separate page. That's fine. But it needs to just be one page, just like the instructions say. And if you're confused about what it can include, again, go to the National FFA website, go to the Proficiency Award page, click on the handbook, and it gives you a description of what can be included in a personal page. If you are the state winner, though, you're going to have to convert your personal page to that PDF to upload here before it's forwarded on for national competition. And then if you scroll down, Dr. Smith, again, there is a place for electronic signatures on these Proficiency Awards, but again, that's not required for the state level. This is only required if you are the state winner and you'll be going on for national competition.
So folks can complete the application without signatures here and email it to you? Is that how they get it?
Correct. As you're finishing this, at some point when you complete save your app, if you look down below, see where it says most recent versions generated saved, it's going to pop up a PDF option, and you'll be able to download that there to send on.
I see the get PDF right here. So that's what you would download and email to you want it sent to your Ag Center address?
Yes, sir.
All right.
You'll find it right there.
That is a very thorough explanation. Are there any other pitfalls that we need to?
There's nothing else that I know of on Proficiency Awards this year that are going to apply. Again, the big thing was I've already gotten some questions about how do I electronically sign it. It's not required unless you win. If you go back to our state website, we can quickly look at Ag Science Fair if you click right there. So this is on the awards degrees tab right there up top, Dr. Smith. Click on Ag Science Fair. Again, we're going to follow the same procedure as last year. It should still be posted on the website, I believe. So it says 2019 instructions. It's going to be changed to 2020 instructions. The instructions are not going to change. We will update the dates of convention, but everything else will be the same. You complete the application on AET where we just were. It's a tab for Ag Science Fair. Same thing. There's no electronic signatures unless you win state. So just complete what you can complete, generate the PDF, and then you'll forward those things on to Dr. Starr by May 15th.
We may adjust this address. I don't know that LSU mail is operating right now, is it?
It is, but it's extremely limited. So it's very possible we're just going to have them emailed in.
Yeah.
And if you look, I mean, you could have emailed it to her last year also. She said you could do it electronically or hard copy. I would definitely lean towards electronically for everything this year.
I would strongly suggest that you email and not regularly mail these materials for sure.
And along that same line, if you try to mail us a hard copy of a Proficiency Award this year, it's not going to be graded. We're not accepting any hard copies because nothing is being graded via hard copy. It's all being graded online. So make sure that they're emailed and not physically put in the.
Right. For anyone that's new to Agri-Science Fair, complete tutorial of how to send those documents in are here. And we also have another video on our YouTube page on how to use PowerPoint to create the actual display board for convention. All right. What else do we need to go over, sir?
I'm going to share on my screen. If you can stop sharing yours, I'm going to pull up an example of the document that we're going to use to grade Proficiency Awards this year. And it's nothing new. It's the same. It's the same. Can you see this one? Can you see the PDF?
Not yet. There it is. I've got it now.
All right. So it's the same application that we used last year in Mandeville. What I've done, though, is we've gone through and we have put areas that you can type in. So since everything will be electronic this year, we're going to put together our teacher grading committees. Those teachers will be emailed PDF copies of the applications. Each teacher will be given a PDF copy of this grading rubric. And so, for example, if I'm grading one in turf grass, you're just going to type in the proficiency area, so turf grass management. You'll put in the kid's name. You'll put in the kid's chapter. And as long as you keep clicking tab, it's going to automatically move you to the next line. So the very first line is SAE explanation in relation to award area. It gives you the rubric. Let's say the kid scores 3 out of 4. You type the number 3, click tab, you move to the next one. The next one has the amount of points that it's for. Let's say he does better, he scores a 4, he scores a 4 on the next one. You're going to keep filling this in by clicking tab all the way down the application. I'm going to just give him some really low scores the rest of the way so we can show you as an example. Just keep clicking tab, keep entering your points in. And by the time you get to the end, which I will get to here shortly, it's a few pages long. By the time you get to the end, it's going to automatically total your points for you, so you won't have to add anything into it. And then if you click on the last tab, will be the judge's signature. And I can't see it because it's hidden behind one of the boxes on my screen. But anyway, if you keep clicking tab, it'll bring you to each one to fill in. It'll automatically generate the points, so you don't have to go back and calculate on your own. Should be fairly foolproof that way. What you're going to do is, if you're grading, you're gonna have to save these grade sheets and then email them back to me once you're done. And then we'll go through and tabulate all of them into the master spreadsheet like we did last year. It's a very similar grading rubric that's used for all of the Proficiency Awards, for the STAR Awards. For the state degrees, it's going to be the same way that we've done in the past, where a teacher committee is either going to approve or disapprove based on whether or not the application met the minimum requirements. For a National Chapter Award, those applications are still going to be sent out of state. We've recruited 12 teachers from 3 states to grade those for us this year. So we will have groups of 4 teachers that will each grade one of the divisions of the National Chapter Award, and then they will send those back to me. And then we will calculate totals. Remember that there will be no interviews this year for any award application, because we just physically can't do it this year. So everything is strictly going to be based on score. For Proficiency Awards, for STAR Awards, we'll do just like we did last year. It will be a sum of the rankings of the applications that will determine who the winners are. And then for National Chapter Award, as spelled out in our handbook, it will be the highest average of the scores will be named the winners. Dr. Smith, do you have any questions on any of that?
Just one, and it's probably already been posted and I just missed it. What will be the estimated date? We'll mail these out on the 6th, but when will these rubrics and scores be due back to us by the judges?
I'm going to have the committees built well prior to that. I've already started collecting names of people who are willing to help. I'm going to have all of the rubrics sent to the correct teachers well in advance of the deadline for the applications. I'm hoping I will get the applications in on the 6th. It is my goal just to work around the clock and get all of them emailed to their appropriate committees by May 7th. And then we would like for them to be finished within a week. So we're hoping that by May 13th, we'll have all of the grading done and back to me. We'll process it into the spreadsheet. By the middle of May, hopefully May 15th, we'll have the whole thing finished and we'll know who the winners are. We will announce the top 4. We won't say which order they're in, but we're going to announce the top 4. So similar to what you would have already known had we done interviews, you'll know if you're in the top 4 for state convention. You just won't know where you placed.
That's a good point, too. All right. Sounds good.
I believe that's all I've got.
All right.
If any of you have questions, feel free to call our cell numbers. We currently are no longer working out of the office. That all got shut down this week. So call our cell numbers. Feel free to email us. We're still working, and we'll be happy to help you if you have any questions before all of this is due.
Have a nice day.